In the Oval Office today, President Trump announced the 2027 NFL Draft would take place in the nation's capital. In attendance, the NFL Commissioner and the Mayor of Washington, D.C. The plan in 2027 is to hold the huge event on the National Mall, but when the president took questions from reporters, the subject quickly switched to illegal immigration. White House correspondent Owen Jensen reports. Owen.
Tara, in the Oval Office, the president was asked about a financial incentive to immigrants in the U.S. illegally to self-deport. Included a plane ticket.
The Trump administration will pay immigrants in the United States illegally who return to their home country voluntarily $1,000 as it pushes forward with its mass deportation agenda.
But what we thought we'd do is a self-deport, where we're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from.
Advocates for immigrants say it's often worse for people to leave the country and not fight their case in immigration court, especially if they're already in removal proceedings, because it may appear they have abandoned their asylum application. Earlier, border czar Tom Homan told reporters,
I think people are finally getting the message: if you leave on your own, you can take advantage of legal programs, come back.
On Air Force One, President Trump said Mexican President Claudia Sheinbaum was too fearful of drug cartels after she rejected his proposal to send U.S. troops to Mexico.
If Mexico wanted help with the cartels, we would be honored to go in and do it. I told her that. I would be honored to go in and do it. The cartels are trying to destroy our country. They're evil.
President Trump also wants to reopen and expand Alcatraz to house America's most ruthless and violent offenders.
It represents something very strong, very powerful in terms of law and order.
The island prison in California was closed back in the 1960s due to crumbling infrastructure.
Well, we need detention beds, and we do contracts in a lot of states, a lot of local municipalities, so I think it's certainly an option, especially for the significant public safety threats, national security threats.
Another headline coming out of the White House: President Trump wants to slap a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into the U.S. that are produced overseas.
It's abandoned the USA where it started, and we'll get it back.
It's common for both large and small films to include production in the U.S. and in other countries. But the president warns on Truth Social this is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat.
But it's not a good situation. So we're going to meet with the industry. I want to make sure they're happy with it because we're all about jobs.
President Trump also said today that he spoke by phone with Turkey's president about several things, including the wars in Gaza and Ukraine. And tomorrow, President Trump sits down with Canada's newly elected Prime Minister, Mark Carney. At the White House, Owen Jensen, EWTN News Nightly.